Honda entering the bagger game. Can they do it? Is it worth it? Will we like it? Well, let's find out. Pumpkin clutch. Okay, so here I am. I'm recording again because I didn't have no audio in my first recording, so thought y'all should know that right out the freaking gate. So let's talk about this new Honda Rebel bagger, the DCT that's coming out this December. That's going to be released in December, from what I've read, which is kind of weird. Releasing a motorcycle in December. I don't know. So I'm gonna kind of just go through this. This is a liquid cooled 1084cc 1100. I got kind of a mix things on, because one thing said it's a 1084, then I seen another thing saying it was a 1083. Let's just say it's an 1100cc liquid cooled. The weird thing about this bike, though, it is an automatic. It's automatic, fuel injected. It has cruise control. Definitely stepping out of the box of imports with being carbureted and just throttling that bitch down to get where you need to go. So, other than like, a Gold Wing or something like that when it comes to touring bikes. But, essentially from this bike, if you look at the images of this bike, and I'm pretty sure in person this is how it's going to be anyways, it's essentially a cruiser with a fairing and two bags on it. I mean, and from what I read too, the bags have been a little flimsy. That, one article said, or it was reviewed by someone saying that the bag, the tops were kind of flimsy and hard to latch. That's to be determined. Some people look at things differently. I do know these bags aren't very big. With the different trims, one's a 24 liter, then the other one's a 35 liter. So who knows how that'll be. It's probably just a plastic case. I mean, really, you could just get saddlebags and slap it on a Shadow or whatever. That's another thing in this. I think it's so weird how the Rebel took the place of the higher CC versus like the Shadow. Rebels, when they, like, years ago, that was a 250cc. That was a starter bike. That's what you learned on. If you knew nothing about bike, you never been on a bike in your life, you got on a Rebel to start. Now these bikes, once again, the interwebs, it's, when it comes to prices, it's kind of back and forth. It's going to range anywhere from a little over $9,000 to a little over $11,000. Depends on, I guess they have 3 different tier trim packages. More than likely that will be the case. If you get the top of the line, you're going to pay more. Now, top of the line, we could talk about that. Just looking at the pictures, I mean, the bike is blacked out. You got LED lights. That's great. Something about this bike, though, I noticed, the frame is exposed on the outside. It's almost like the V-Rod, where, the V-Rod, you can see the frame on the outside of the bike. It's not hidden by the engine and all the body parts and trim and all that. So that's pretty cool. I do know that it does have, like, the digital gauge on it. And something else that is pretty unique about this bike, it has modes, like, different modes you can use. You got a sport, standard, and rain, and an anti-wheelie mode, so you don't go, oh god! So you can select your throttle response, shifting aggressiveness, and traction control, and engine compression braking. So this thing apparently has an engine brake. Makes sense if it's an automatic. And it's got a lock, like a locking brake on the handlebar somewhere. I don't know. I guess it's like a button. It's kind of like, it's got a basically a knee brake. This bike here isn't necessarily a light bike. It's not a heavy bike. It's right around 540-ish pounds. So nothing real crazy. It's only coming in 2 different colors. You got the metallic black and the red metallic. Look, when you get this or you go to look at one of these, don't expect that you're going to get a Street Glide or a Chieftain or something like that. This is what it is. You also have a 4-piston disc brake system in the front, and you have a single piston rear brake. Days of drum brakes are behind us, people. We are moving up in the world. If we can go over the bike just looking at it, I can see this, right out the gate. And I mentioned this in the video no one ever watched. Something I'm not a fan of on this bike is the exhaust system. It's a little bulky. It's a little goofy. I guess they were trying to go with the sleek look, but I'm just not feeling that. It's just too big. Also, it is a chain driven bike. You're not getting a shaft drive or a belt drive driven bike. It's to be a single seater, so I don't know how that works if you're going to ride 2 up. I imagine there's going to be some aftermarket companies out there who provide a seat for 2. Aftermarket's always going to be there, especially when it comes to Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, those guys. And we all know Harley's got like unlimited parts on the aftermarket scene. This ain't one of these bikes where you think, oh man, the fairing, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have GPS and stereos. It's not that. It's a basically just a shield. Keep the wind off you, keep the bugs off you, and there you go. So yeah, I think if you're into the a cheaper import bike, which we all know Honda, they got the best reputation out there. Everyone knows I have a Honda Shadow. Obviously the year I got is back when Shadow was the big bike and Rebel was the small bike. And that changed around some point in time. I don't know. Hey, let me know what you think, how you feel about it. Is this something that you would buy? Would you want one of these? I can tell you right now, I definitely would ride one of these. I would own one. I think it's a great looking bike. I love Honda. For the money, yeah. I mean, if you want a bike that's completely decked out, and obviously you got to go to Harley or Indian. But if you want something that's not going to break the bank, that you can go out and cruise around on, that you got tons of mods you can do, and have something that's going to be dependable and last for years and years and years, well, obviously, you can't go wrong with Honda. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and do all those great things and help us grow. We got to grow. And also, leave your comments about this Honda. Are you going to get one? Would you rather have a Harley? Well, would you rather have a Yamaha? Would you rather have a Kawasaki? What would you rather have? Or would you be cool with going and get one of these? Well, when you go to get it, it's going to be December, so it might be too cold to ride it, but you have one for the next riding season, and this is Broken Clutch.